Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm on the FTOG Enigmatica 2 server, hanging out here at my space base. Well, okay, it's the planning area for space. Got the advanced rocketry stuff going on here, and this is take 2, because the first take died on me. And I was good, but I built all these stuff. So it's more of a talkie than a doey, but oh well. Anyway, so I've got here the suit workstation, which allows you to craft up, well, you craft these separately, but allows you to add stuff to the suit because you can't go out into space naked because you die really fast. So let's go ahead and snag all these bits. And the space helmet, I wanted these two pieces, the anti-fog visor and the atmosphere analyzer, which I'm actually going to pull out right now. But these make it really nice to be able to run around and do stuff. Yeah, let's put that back in there for right now. And then you just pull it out, and it's got the two pieces in there. Spacesuit, this one has tanks in it. You're welcome, tanks. And it's interesting, this one has oxygen and this one does not. And I was seeing that earlier. Let's put the pants in there. The only thing that the pants give you is a jump ability, and I can fly, so I don't care. And then there's also the space boots, which the benefit for that, you can have feather fall. Well, you can not take damage as you drop. But again, I have flight, so I don't care about that. But if you put all these on, and now you can see I've got this little overlay there. What happened to my help? Oh, it went in there. Now I've got the GUI there in the corner, showing what I've got, and the atmosphere, 1 atmosphere pressure, there's air here, it's breathable, it's good stuff. Let's hop up and run back here. These have been running like crazy, very low tick, so I was happy to let them run. Now, one thing that was ticking a lot, these I had turned to push the stuff into here. The problem, though, is that these bad boys tick something awful when this is full and nothing's going on. So I'll turn those off. And it's interesting, that's only showing 9. What happened to my oxygen over here? Why are you not... Anyway, I did create a gas charge pad over here. And why are you not... I don't want to extract. I want to insert the gas here. It's not inserting. Why are you inserting? You should be extracting. This is really weird. It just changed a lot. Something changed these. Okay, that's more like it. That's full. That's full. Okay, that's what we're looking for. And if you stand here, it will go ahead and put oxygen in your tanks, and my bar down there is completely full, which is cool. Howdy. And the weird thing is earlier, I was only getting half my oxygen filled up. So let's go back down real quick. And let's take the chest piece, and they're both full. Okay, this one was the only one filling, that one was not filling at all, which is very, very strange. Now, you don't have to make these. In fact, I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to yank that out and put that back there. I do kind of like the GUI, but that's annoying to have that up there all the time. Let's take that off. I can take the atmosphere analyzer and just right click, and it tells me what currently is going on, although there's 0 pressure. That's a bug. There is 1 atmosphere pressure on the Earth, because Earth pressure is what defines what an atmosphere is. So it should be 1.0 atmosphere here. The moon has 0. Well, there's this teeny tiny, incredibly, it's not worth measuring. For what we're caring about. Mars has a tiny fraction. Venus has a much denser atmosphere. There's way more. Anyway, blah, 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 science stuff. I do like it. But I'm going to go ahead and take these off. There's another way of getting space-capable stuff, because you look at this 1, 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 armor. And I like my armor. I like my armor way more. but I've got spells on this. Protection, Unbreaking, Airtight Seal, Depth Striding, Minding Soul Button. Airtight Seal. Airtight Seal comes with advanced rocketry, and if you put that on all 4 of your armor pieces, you've got a spacesuit. Now, to make this, it is fairly involved. Carbon brick is easy. It's just the charcoal. The lens, you just need to make that bit, run it through the precision assembler, boom, done. The pressurized tank, you need 2 of these, so that's a bunch of titanium to get the super high pressure tanks. And then the titanium aluminide plate, whatever. This bad boy you can do with, let's do it in the electric arc furnace. That's what I ended up using. Titanium ingots and aluminum ingots will get you 3 of these, and I needed 4, so I ran it twice, and I've got some leftovers. But that's not all that hard to do. And now that all 4 of these are there, my O2 is 0 because I haven't charged it up. Let's go run over here and charge it up. Oh, let's take the chest piece off. The O2 counter went away. Let's put it back on. The O2. So obviously there's something in the O2. The tanks are in the chest piece just like it is in the spacesuit. And I now have complete amount of O2 in my regular armor, which is very nice. I will go ahead and keep that. This I'm going to put here for storage. Go there, go there, go there, and that's in the wrong order, but that's okay. I need to go up because I'm going to show off stuff that I did. Since I don't have my astral sorcery, that's over there. I don't have my Botania stuff over. This is a free spot to do it, and I didn't want to put it actually on here. Position in the overworld matters where you put stuff in other dimensions, like if you land on the moon or stuff. So if you make a launch pad here and launch and put a marker down right where your spaceship lands, and then you move over to here and you launch from this side, you will be that far away on the moon, which is kind of cool. It means if you land on the moon and you rebuild your rocket over in a different location, you will come back in that other location. Anyway, typically you would want to start off by going to the moon, because there's stuff and junk that you need to advance that is found on the moon and other locations. I'm going straight to a space station. Let's grab those right there. So what I've got here are launch pads, and I'm just doing a 3x3, which is as small as possible. And then I've got power, obviously, and I've got a space station assembler. Now that is the one, space station assembler. That's the one. This is the one that required going to the moon, because dilithium dust, and dilithium dust is found on the moon. However, I can get to the moon here thanks to the stuff that the Wolfpack group did. In fact, there's 2 of them on right now. Because they had set that up, I was able to go there to the moon and grab some bits. And it's pretty easy if you've got yourself a oxygen suit or just a regular space suit. You can dig down in there, and I only needed 1 piece of dilithium because through the sag mill I got 4 pieces. I fed it 2 and it gave me 8. Anyway, so that was sufficient for me to make my space station assembler. And in here, because again this is take 2, dang it, I've got a satellite bay and a space station ID chip. And my station is number 8, which means there's been 7 others built before. Now I'm going to steal that out of there because I want to make a backup copy. So let's take this power plug and I'm going to drop it over on this side. Blink, and I'll put the satellite builder on top of that. Crouch click, because let's steal that chip. Because and you've got to have this power input plug below it. It's a multi-block structure. Annoying because I tried to do it over there and it wouldn't. Anyway, I'm going to take this one with my program and this one that's not, and I'm going to click right to secondary chip. Chugga, 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 chugga. This makes a backup for me. and I can give this to somebody else. I can do all sorts of things with that. You know, if for some reason my rocket disappears, like you know, it crashes or something, Minecraft, and you lose your video, you can recover it. Okay, let's talk about crashing. I recorded this already. I had made all the components I needed to make these things, like the space station assembler. So I had all these bits. I had crafted this. I had the bits I needed to make these gears. I had all of them, ran through it. It was great. I went up to the space station. I went to space. And typically you see an overworld below you. There was none. And then when you get back into the rocket to fly back, the destination is Earth. It had destination none. I should have stopped my video at that point, but I didn't. When I went back to here, it crashed my Minecraft. It crashed it so bad it just dumped the entire thing. So when I fired it back up and logged back on, I was up there about 200 Y, hanging in midair because I can fly, and I was bonking into some invisible blocks there. I changed dimensions, came back, and now I could see my rocket up there, which is how come I was able to recover it again. It was just really annoying, and lost the video, and I said, I could look at ways of recovering the video. I said, forget it. I'm just going to dump it as a lost cause. Anyway, back to space station. I'm going to go ahead and set up a space station because I want to build something massive in space. There's something I've been wanting to build for at least 4 years now. And so here's my space station. You need a launch pad. 3x3 is the smallest. I don't recall the biggest, maybe 16 by 16. I don't know. I really strongly suggest taking a look at Torgal's advanced rocketry tutorial. Holy cow, he's got 5 parts. It's amazingly in-depth and fantastic, and it's my go-to for advanced rocketry. That's my space station. Right there. Yes, that's my space station. I'm going to go ahead and put my chip. You need a chip and a satellite bay, and there would be the unused chips. Let's throw you away. No, come back here, Chip. I made a backup of you specifically so that I wouldn't. Okay. Anyway, let me paste this here so that I can access it later. All right, so the first thing you want to do is scan really fast. It's good. Now I'm going to build really fast, and it gives me the space station container. It took everything that was my space station and put it inside this container, and it went from a satellite bay to a space station container. Yeah, go figure. But it still kept my station ID. It would have, if this had been unused, it would have given it an ID. And I'm not sure if I could have run this without. I was playing with it and it didn't like that, so I said, fine, I will get around that. All right, let's paste you here. And now we need to change gears, and we need to make a rocket so that we can get out there. So for that, we need this, the rocket assembly machine. And yes, I had gone through all the recipes before, and I'm not going to do it now because mod packs change them, so I won't. Anyway, this guy, the same sort of thing you need to scan and build, and if we scan right now, it's missing a guidance computer. Well, let's look. Yeah, I don't have any guidance computer there. I have nothing there. Let's grab all the rocket bits here, and I'm going to make a very, very simple rocket. I'm going to make an extremely simple rocket. I need the place to put my satellite station. What happened to my other component? Satellite builder? No. Let's put that there for the nonce, because I'm trying to remember what it was that I needed. Nope, I didn't want to click that. Crouch click, crouch click, crouch click, crouch click, and one more. I'm too far. There we go. And I'll put a seat on there. Ta-da! That's pretty basic. That is extremely basic. Let's go ahead and scan. and it says it's good. We've got sufficient thrust with 3 engines and sufficient fuel to get us out there. Looks like weight and acceleration, I never see it change from that. But I'm going to go ahead and build that, and it's done. That's one reason why I'm going with super small. It takes, if this were like a 10 by 10 pad with, you know, a 15 tall, it would take much longer to process this, but this is pretty dinky. So if I stand here and crouch click this, all right, so yes, I do have both of these pieces. The guidance computer, if I click that, I can put in my destination of where I want to go. Crouch click it again. The satellite builder piece is not the piece that I need. All right, what is it that I'm missing? I'm gonna have to look, because I had it here. I wonder if I lost it. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. Let's pull out my chip, right click, and I'm going to disassemble, because now these are individual bits, because that's the wrong bit. And I gotta figure out what it is that I needed here. It's the satellite bay. That's what I need. And for that, I need the titanium rods. Let's go ahead and get 2. Give me the other 2. Thank you. All right, let's craft this bad boy. One more. And this is the piece I need to hold the satellite container. So let's, it's not a satellite, it's a space station, but it's being reused. So, okay. And again, this, how did I figure that out? I went to Torgal's video and I took a quick look and I said, what is it that I missed? This is part 4 that actually has the space station stuff in it. Okay, so now I can put, actually, I'm going to not do that. Let's scan. I always like to scan before. It's exactly the same. Let's build, done. And now let's stand here, crouch click. Guidance computer, there's my space station. Let's get off. Crouch click, the satellite bay is where I put the space station container in. And now we need to fuel this thing. So for that, let's go ahead and grab these bits. We need the fueling station, and I'm going to just put it right there so it's got power, but it needs fuel. Now, I've got a ton of fuel thanks to the way that was set up over there. So I'm going to grab this linker here, and if you crouch click the fueling station, you can click the assembled rocket and it'll fuel that. But if you crouch click the rocket assembly machine, it will fuel anything you have onto this pad and not just the rocket. So I like doing that instead. And if we go ahead and right click this, yep, there in the corner, or actually to the left, the fuel is going up. So, press space to take off. The destination is space station number 8, which is mine. And this is the second time going up. Because, of course, it is kind of glitchy going up because, you know, the nature of multi-block stuff pushing me along. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Actually, I think I will do it from this viewpoint so I'm not staring at you. Ready? Here we go. And here we are in the space station area. So seeing that I've got a world below me is much better. That makes me feel much better. And we're starting to descend. You can see what I mean by being kind of a little glitchy. Like it loses track of where I am on the rocket and but what we're looking for is my space station way down below me. And getting lower and lower. Should start showing up about now-ish or so. Looking at the altitude. Oh, there's the rockets. All right, where's my space station? I should see it by now. This is not good. It didn't make my space station. It didn't. And I think I'm going to crash to the Earth. So it didn't make my space station this time. I wonder, possibly because I had already made it up there. That may be the issue. Anyway, this is going to land me back on my space station dock, and I'm going to fix that real quick. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic. The fumes are pretty bad. Let's get off this and wow. So, yeah, anticlimactic. But I do like the huge amount of smoke that's in here. Fortunately, I have my spacesuit with airtight seals, so it doesn't affect me. Anyway, I find it. It must be because it wasn't my very first time going to that space dimension, so it didn't actually use it. Consumed it. No, I don't want to fly. I want to get my chip out of here, just because. Fortunately, I happen to have a way back there. Let's try this. Home space. If I can spell it. And here I am. This is where space is for me. And I think it's that direction. I have here a launch pad. So let's go. If I had it like I wanted, it should have been right there. Those 3 blocks. That was the very center. Anyway, let's go ahead and do 3. Do 3. I'm doing a 7x7 pad here. And this is going to be the basis for my space station. There we go. And I have 1 left over because of that. There. So, if I see, this is the spot, and it should be looking south, because that's how I remember where I was. I also have it in my dislocator, so I have 2 ways of getting back here and back to Earth. And now, one of the things I find very, very interesting, my oxygen isn't going down. And I don't know whether that's because I have supermassive tanks that it's not showing the consumption, or the fact that I've got water breathing might be helping. Now let's take that out. And yeah, it's definitely detecting the fact that I don't have an airtight seal at that point. And it you will take damage, but you know, if you've got uber saturation and regeneration, you're going to recover your health just as fast as you lose it. But oh, this is annoying to build and just record videos in, so I'm going to stop that. But yeah, I could survive there forever in space, because healing saturation, I'm good. All right, so I'm curious. I see absolutely no indication that my air tanks have gone down. And I don't see any way of seeing that it's gone down. I have no idea. It probably is. Anyway, this is where I want to build my space station, and having flight is a very, very nice thing for doing this stuff. Let me gather up some resources, and at this point I need to put some bare bones in place, because that's not a very good space station. I've got the bare bones of a new space base. Let's show it off. There you go. Okay, well, this is the actual living space, and the tin blocks give you an idea of the size. Let's go in real quick. I missed. I'll edit that out. All right, so here is my little living space area. It's small enough I could set up oxygen in here to take care of everything and make sure it's pressurized. In fact, I probably should. I've got an area where I can charge up my internal tanks, and this is why I set up lots of oxygen, because now I don't need to produce the oxygen here. I just use it. Anyway, so I'll get a atmosphere charge what majigger to place, make sure that this area here is oxygen, because right now there's nothing. It's all vacuum. I'm using iron for this area, but I did go ahead and chisel a bunch of the stuff here just to break up the white. And I found these and I said, ooh, those kind of look like vents, so maybe we're getting air pumped in that way. Anyway, the elevators here get me in and out because I don't have any doors on this, but yeah, that's my plan. This is not a small build. I think that's the intro for a montage. have it. There's my completed space station. And if people don't recognize what this is the mothership that comes from Homeworld, which is a fantastically fun game. They've actually remastered it, so the graphics are even better. And this is my rendition of it. In fact, let me throw a quick little picture up here, if I remember. This is the source image that I went from. And it's the same image that appeared at the beginning of the episode in my little space work area. I've had this image stored on my computer for 4 years now, wanting to make this, and finally went ahead and did so. And I like what having the world behind it so that it's not floating above, it's orbiting around it. And so the conceit up here is the control room. I rotated the world up, and the sun's down there, so it's dark, and I took my night vision stuff off as well, so I could light this up and it would get some light. That's molten cobalt, and that's lit up there. This side, and if we swing around over to this side here as well, these little cobalt areas are areas where you can access the mothership. So on this side, small little crafts, the little tiny fighter jets and whatnot would go in there to get repaired and to refuel, and then come out when they were done. And on the other side, the big capital ships, the monster destroyers and whatnot, if you captured those, they would be pulled in from there. This would close in, they would get processed and reconditioned and now part of the fleet, and then they would come out and they would all line up in front of the mothership here, and then you would all go off on the next mission and whatever that needed to be done. And it's a lot of metal blocks. It's a lot of metal blocks. Back here, you got the big massive engines that push it through. There's a little bit more here. That's where the resource controllers would dock and unload materials that it would scavenge from asteroids and whatnot. And so yeah, there is my my space station, and let's head on up. There is no way to get in. So we'll just teleport in like this. This is the control area, and that's why I've got this set up here. I've got oxygen vents. I currently have them turned off. Now, if you take a look at them, they've got plenty of oxygen. I've got the oxygen behind there feeding it with power and all the rest. I've been, rather than giving it a redstone signal to turn it on, I've typically been having it here, redstone control inverted, so that it's always running as necessary. But I'm going to turn that off for right now. We're seeing some weird bounces of tick where it's like 4 microseconds here, and then all of a sudden it's 150, and then back to 4. And I don't know why, so I'm turning that off. These guys, this is the orientation controller, which allows me to adjust the direction of this map. The space station actually isn't moving, it's just this texture is adjusting. And I kind of like that it's hanging there in space. Not me floating above, but kind of below. It makes me feel more in space. The altitude controller, this guy allows me to have a distance from it, and I, instead of being 100 miles above, like kind of the or kilometers, I guess, is this kilometers? Yeah, km. Instead of being about 100 kilometers up, which is where the space station, International Space Station, currently is, it's much higher up. I just want this to pull away a little bit. And then over here we have the station gravity. Right now I have it set to 50, or it's going there, and I was jumping 4 blocks high. Now I'm jumping 2 blocks high. That's a little bit better. I don't need to feel like I'm, bouncing too much. I don't think I've made any changes down here. No real changes. Did turn this off. Let me fill up with oxygen. I'm okay with just leaving the oxygen vents off because I've got such huge massive tanks here, and I can fill up really fast with this. Oh, did put my item repair up here so I could repair my chisels, because there's a lot of chiseled blocks here. And if I were to set up the oxygen vents and leave it running, I would probably set up one between these 2 floors. And then if I use chisel and bits and have a chiseled block, the air would leak through. And so I could do both of these floors with just one. And there's room more for other space. Let's pop through here. No lights on the inside here. Chiseled the cobalt here just before fun. And yeah, like I said, lots and lots of metal blocks here. Lead and tin and gold and steel, or actually that's iron. Just tons and tons and tons of that. Copper as well for the front and these bits. And so there's room for me to make more of these floors on the inside. Not sure how much I will make, but I could transfer all my ore mining out to here. I could, at least I assume the environmental tech ore miner would work out here. I think that would be very cool looking. One of the things that can be done with the space station, and I don't have a place for it, so I'll have to make it later. Outside. One of the things I'll have to do is set up a way of warping my space station to different places, and that the lithium crystals, I believe, is what's needed for that. And so I'm going to have to set up a place for a warp chamber. Might take off that column and put the warp there. Not 100% sure about the size of it, but that might fit right there. Anyway. It's really dark because I'm in the dark here, so it's hard to see me, but that's okay. I'm enjoying this space station. I'm thinking this is a very cool looking space station. I've loved this model for a long time, and I'm so happy to actually finally have this made in one of my Let's Plays. Ah, so nice. Anyway, I'm geeking out over the cool look of this homeworld mothership. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer here, hanging out in space on the FTOG Enigmatica 2 server. And thanks for watching. Bye.